Hello, I'm wbz-tv meteorologist Barry Burbank, and I have your forecast for the rest of this day through the holiday weekend and into next week. And it's, yes, this time of the year. It's the Memorial Day weekend, and time to start talking about summery weather coming up. Of course, last week we already had 3 very hot days. Unusual to have that in May. And does that necessarily mean it's going to be a hot summer? No, not really. Last year at this time, or certainly during the latter part of the spring, we were forecasting that the summer would contain 22 days of 90 or higher. I guess it was a lucky guess because we ended up with 22 days exactly in Boston. But knew it was going to be a hot summer with a way above average number of 90-degree days when the average is 15. How about this year? Well, I'll have my final forecast on that coming up this Sunday. I'll be on in the morning and the evening, so we'll talk about that. But looks like it's certainly going to be up to the average and certainly probably over the average. But will it be up to 22? I'll let you know on Sunday. In the meantime, let's talk about the average May temperatures. And it looks like this May is probably going to go into the record books as the first cooler than average May since back in 2008. So we've had a whole string of warmer than average Mays. And it looks like we'll just not quite make it up to average because we're going to have some more cool weather coming in. The cool weather we have today in the mid and upper 50s will be repeated again on Monday. We are clearly again in the cold or cool corner, I guess we should say, not cold, but cool corner of the country now. Again, where the rest of the nation is going to be having some pleasant weather, in fact, very warm late spring weather coming up this weekend for the holiday. So it looks like even though there'll be some severe weather breaking out in parts of the Midwest and South over the weekend, it is definitely going to be on the warm side. But we really can't warm up here today because of this sort of almost like a nor'easter, which didn't really contain a huge amount of wind, except on the North Shore this morning. It's pretty gusty, but it did produce torrents of rain in the early morning hours, accompanied by thunder and lightning. And here's some of our WBZ Weather Watcher amounts. Over 2 inches from Mark and Gardner, with about 1 3/4 up in Belmont, New Hampshire from Brian. Winchendon, Mass from Kevin had 1.5 inches or so. About Nashua, John says about 1 1/4 inches there, and Eric and Hopkinton had about 1 inch. So we had some good rains this morning, and the rain is ongoing. Boston, as of midnight, had 63 hundredths, brings the total in the plus column for above average rainfall so far this month of May. And we're not done yet because it's still raining out there, but the rain should become more sporadic and more scattered as we go through the afternoon, as this whole whirlpool of air, moist air, wheels its way out of here, and we'll be more on the back edge of that system as we go through this afternoon. So just more scattered in nature rather than the occasional rain we've had this morning. Now, the next question mark is how much sunshine is going to be realized tomorrow? Not certain. Some areas should see some, but it looks like cloud cover may tend to rule the sky and breaking out from time to time here and there. So we'll just call it certainly warmer than today is, but whether we get a lot of bright sunshine remains to be seen. I think Sunday will be the sunnier of the weekend days, but even Sunday there'll be some clouds around, so we can't forecast completely clear weather, that's for sure. So today's highs, 57 or 58 degrees in the Boston area south. Some areas down here along the south coast could be a little bit over 60 degrees, but up to the north it'll stay in the low and middle 50s for highs. We should be up around 69 for an average high for May 26. Tonight's lows about the same as last night's, upper 40s to near slightly over 50. Tomorrow's high should be higher than today, upper 50s to near 60 along the immediate coastline with that breeze coming in. Not a powerful wind, but enough to keep it cooler there, ranging up to the upper 60s and possibly a few spots touching the 70 to 71 degree mark as you get deeper inland where there's a decent chance of some sunshine. Cape and the Islands coming up for this holiday weekend. Well, it looks like lots of clouds will be around there for you. Saturday, around 60 to 62 degrees. Sunday, more sunshine, but still a sea breeze, keeping it in the low and middle 60s. And then Monday, we'll have the rain. For the Red Sox games, first pitch 7:10 tonight, cloudy, around 56. The 4:05 first pitch tomorrow afternoon, mix of lots of clouds and maybe a little sun, around 64. And it looks like a nice afternoon on Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy and 68. Now, the other interesting thing is the high tides that are occurring this weekend. They're running around 11 feet in the early part of the afternoon, but the real high tides happen overnight due to astronomical conditions. We had some minor coastal flooding this morning when some of the low-lying areas were flooded out and shore roads had to be closed. It won't be quite as bad, but still some pretty high tides. 12.4 feet to early tomorrow morning, just after midnight, about 12.3 feet Sunday morning at 1:30, and then about 12 feet Monday morning around. So it looks like we could have some minor coastal flooding with some of the low-lying areas flooded out once again overnight tonight. Here the next 7 days look like this. Sunday should be the nicest day. Monday it rains again, and then we get into a unsettled stretch next week. It's not going to be raining all the time, but a few showers are possible each and every day. A few showers of thunderstorms possible Tuesday afternoon, a few showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm on Wednesday, a slight chance of a shower on Thursday, and maybe we'll have some nice weather for the following weekend. That's it for now. You can watch WBZ News at noon, 5, 6, and 11 o'clock, also at 8 o'clock on my TV 38. For the latest news and weather updates, have a happy and safe holiday weekend.